What's going on, everyone, and welcome to the KoloCast, a weekly show here hosted by myself, Mr. Aquaman, and Flashyy over there. What's going on, man?
What is going on, Aquaman? Super happy to be here. I'm excited for this one, as I am every single week. I think this is the first week that I am not allowed to grill our guests about their YouTube channel.
The first one. This is it.
We got someone that's been doing it for close to a decade now, man. Absolutely insane. But bring him on in. I can't wait to get this conversation started.
Bringing on one of the, I would say, premier content creators of the NetherRealm competitive scene, the FGC as a whole. Especially here in this past decade. Longtime friend of mine, Fuck the Flash. Welcome, everyone, onto the show. Sorry, that was a lot of anger from Injustice 1.
That was unnecessary, man. I don't know about all that.
We're gonna get into that later on as to what this man's character has done to people, but it has also been accredited to some of the greatest moments in our competitive history. I mean, the Evo moment alone. This man's on YouTube, Patreon, Facebook gaming. Is a two-time Evo medalist. I can say I hate your character as much as I want, but I can also talk you up to no end. Welcome, everyone. Honeybee to the KoloCast. Good to see you, man.
Honeybee.
That's right. The fans are going wild. The chat's going wild right now. It's insane.
What's up, man?
Honeybee.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome to the show. We love to get to know people on this show when it comes to content creation, when it comes to getting into this particular community that brought all of us together, the Mortal Kombat competitive community, right? And so our first question for most people, our first question for you has got to be, what is your origin story? How did you get into this space?
Well, back when Injustice 1 came out. This was 2013, by the way. For me, it was a very much like a happy accident that happened where, for those of you that aren't aware, my brother Biohazard, we go to tournaments together. We've been doing it ever since 2014. We started internationally, but 2013, the game came out, Injustice 1. My bro bought it, brought it home. I didn't know anything about it, and he was just like, hey, you want to play this game? It has superheroes and stuff. And I was like, oh, that sounds cool. Like, let's do it. It's like, yeah, DC superheroes. So then, the first character I picked was not the Flash.
Ooh.
It was actually a character that you are very familiar with, Mr. Aquaman. I think the very first character I picked was Ares.
Wow.
This is part of the lore that I
really
actually never told people.
Wow.
So the story behind that was just I didn't know anything about fighting games. I was terrible. Wow. I didn't know anything. So I was just like, yo, what characters cheat? What characters cheat? And my bro,
that's
he
what
was
most
just
people
like,
look for when they get into a new game.
Yeah, for sure. You just like, what
shit?
character is easy? Mm-hmm. Yeah. What character can get me easy wins? And he was just like, well, Ares has an overhead projectile that's pretty good. And I was like, oh, okay. So then I went Ares. And then I think I lost. He's low tier and everything. And then I'm like, okay, who else is good? And, I'm buttering you up a little bit so you don't have to talk shit about Flash.
Damn it.
Then
he
I
downplayed Ares.
Like, okay,
I can't do anything on this show anymore. He
right?
downplayed Ares for me. All right, you're good. Never mind. The Flash was great.
And then I picked Deathstroke. And then because he uses shotguns. But essentially, like, I played it a little bit, decided, let me try out some combos, whatever. I tried Flash, too difficult. I was like, nah, I can't do these trait combos. I can't do this. I'm new to the game. So like I was bouncing around characters at first. And I had zero intention of ever doing anything competitive with this game. But like I was trying like Raven, Grundy, Green Lantern, Green Arrow, like a bunch of characters. And then we ended up going to I ended up playing it a lot with my brother, and we got pretty good because I was beating a lot of people online, and I was just kind of like, well, I want to make some money like doing tournaments, because I was aware of tournaments. Like I would actually watch Marvel vs. Capcom 3 for like Evo and other tournaments and stuff like that, because I thought it was interesting. So I knew there was tournaments. I wasn't 100% sure if there was for Injustice, so just Googled Toronto tournaments, found out there was one happening, and I told my bro to let's go. So then we went. I thought I would beat people because at the time I was using Batgirl and just mixing people with like her vortex, and online no one blocked overhead. So I was like, this is gonna be free money. So then I went to this tournament, and then I got bodied. Like, I think I went 1 and 2. I think I went.
That's
1
not
and
bad
2.
though. If you're
That's
not going
honestly-
0-2 in the first tournament,
Hey,
you're set.
yeah.
Just not getting the
That's pretty
donut, you're
good.
good.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
pretty
You know, I think Bio went 0 and 2. Just saying.
Ooh.
Rough.
I think I
We'll get
people were
Bio on
blocking
for the
the
rebuttal
overhead.
later.
Yeah, we'll get him on here to debate that.
He'll tell you the same thing, though. He'll tell you the same thing. And then, so we ended up going, and then the person there that runs it, shout outs to Neo Russell. He was like super welcoming and everything, and like encouraged us
An
to come
OG
back.
in
So I
our
was like,
community
okay,
too. Yeah.
yeah. He's been around for a long time, and yeah. So he convinced us to come back. He was like, and everyone there was also like really nice. So then I decided, okay, like we'll come back. And then I was thinking, you know, if I want to get good, I want to get good with the Flash because I like using Flash. And I think at the time, I think he also had like a recent buff, like a patch came out. They improved like his dash speed and they made a couple things about him better. And I was like, okay, let me go back to Flash. And at the time, it was still really hard for me to do my combos and stuff. But I spent like literally every time I turned on my system, I would spend like at least an hour in training mode just practicing like flash combos over and over and over again until I could finally like hit it consistently. And you know, we ended up going more locals. I ended up winning a bunch. I got better. And then in 2014, so this was a year after the game came out, I convinced my bro Bio to travel to the States with me, and then we went to East Coast Throwdown. I got 5th at that tournament. We went to UFGTX. I got 4th at that tournament. And yeah, like that's essentially their origin story, I guess. Origin story. Like that's basically it. Like I don't know if there's anything you want me to add to it.
No, so that's super interesting because first of all, a lot of people that we have on here, they kind of discovered Mortal Kombat because that was what they were playing back in their day, and then they grew up. Mortal Kombat 9 comes out, they're like, hey, let's go out there and just play. Let's just meet up with people and play. You have a very unique perspective where it's like no fighting games, nothing like that.
None.
Just your brother pulls up with Injustice one day and he's like, hey, let's just play this game. So it's crazy to me that from 2013, no fighting game experience, and now it's 2014 and you're traveling to the States to go to tournaments. Was it
pretty much.
because you pretty much started by saying like, oh, I want to make some money while playing this game. Did you know that gaming tournaments existed through like Call of Duty or through Gears of War, or like was it something like that?
Well, the main thing I knew of like fighting game tournaments and stuff because I would watch Evo for mainly Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 because like that game was so hype. Like
It's
I
just fun to
loved
watch.
watching it.
Yeah.
It was so good to watch. But I would try playing it and I couldn't do a combo to save my life. Like
Same.
I played that shit on
Same.
simple mode.
I tried
Okay,
so
there
much.
was simple and like advanced. I was playing that shit on simple mode where you had less buttons to worry about and everything. Like I was actually garbage. Like the only game I did play like, you know, some Smash Bros and like some PlayStation All Stars and stuff. But like I was never like I couldn't even do like a Shoryuken in like Street Fighter like consistently. Like I sucked back then. I could probably do it now, I guess. But yeah, like I was just not good. I was not good. But I was aware of tournaments and stuff because I did watch Evo mainly for Marvel. So I was just familiar with that, and I thought there would be more money that I could have won from it. And then as I started playing more,
about that,
yeah, we kind of found out. Like I started going to these tournaments in the States. I was just
reality, brother.
I was like, dude, if I get first, I might be able to break even on this trip. Like that's the way it was back then because there was like no pot bonuses. Like I was taking like 14-hour bus rides to go to these events.
Yep.
And
Top 3 payout only, and it was 70, 20, 10. So third place was getting 10% of the prize pool. The prize pool was probably a couple $100. You're getting your entry fee back for getting third.
Yeah.
That's
what it was.
At a large
but then I got
tournament.
hooked. I got hooked because I just loved competing. I loved competing. I loved proving myself. And like I had, you know, like back then, like there was this whole thing of like, you know, who's the best with this, whatever. And like there was this whole rivalry with me and Zyfox.
Oh, for sure.
You know? And it's like, who's the best Flash? Is it me or is
That
it
was
Zyfox?
such a big
And-
thing in Injustice one day. So,
gosh.
Hold on a second. I'm gonna disappear for a second and go into my closet and find something. All right, hold the phone. I had to grab this since we were discussing the Injustice 1 era and just how big in our community at the time, right, Honeybee, it was to be the best with the character that someone actually made a shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Dude, I have that one too. I have that shirt as well. Dude, there I am. There I am in the middle. Let's go.
As the
Dude,
Flash,
that
that's
shirt was
awesome.
sick.
That right there is
man.
me as Aries. You can't see it because it's so dark, but he has a little mustache in there. This was a shirt.
Dude, that's so sick that you still have that shirt. That's so sick.
It's one of the only shirts I have, no matter what has happened in my life, I refuse to get rid of. It's just always going to be in there forever. Like, we got,
For sure.
What is it? Revolver up here is Lex. We got Slips as Scorpion, Rico Suave, Black Adam. You got Theo as Aquaman right here.
Yeah. Sonic Fox, Batgirl,
Forever
KZ,
King,
Superman,
Chris G.
Dude, it's
White Boy.
For the people that were in the scene back then, like, honestly, like,
Arma.
it was so good.
Batman Arma
good.
With the hat. With the baseball cap?
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Just phenomenal.
So good.
Bringing
My
out the
shirt
vintage
is a red one. But yeah, it's pretty sick.
Bringing out the artifacts. That's absolutely awesome. I love how Aquaman stopped the show, got up, went to go find that,
I
and break it out.
Yeah.
That was
I
awesome.
respect the hell out of that.
We had to
That
do
was
it.
awesome.
But like you were saying at the time, it was pretty cool that was part of the motivation to compete.
It was.
Because the money wasn't it. Right?
No.
The money,
It definitely
the money
went out
wasn't
the door
it.
right
No,
away.
no.
That was
It was all about pride.
It was
at
all
that
about
point.
pride, not
It was
just
all
in
about
character.
pride and just proving that you're like the best with at least this character. Even if you're not the best, at least you're the best with this character.
That's right.
You know? So
And
that's kind of what it was. I know back then, like, there was this dude. You know how? So the game Injustice, it was out for like a full year, right? Before I started competing in like U.S. tournaments, dude. For like a full year, there was like no Flash players basically doing anything in tournament until Winter Brawl came around February of 2014, and Zyfox got third at that event. And everyone was like, Zyfox, best Flash, whatever. And even before then, people were basically saying Zyfox, best Flash, because people they didn't really know even who I was. Like, I was just some Canadian online Flash player, whatever. And like, inside, I hated it. Inside, I'm just like, man, like,
that was the fuel.
Everyone's saying Zyfox is the best, but like, I know, like, if I could just go to these tournaments, I know I could prove myself. So, but the thing is like, I had no results, so I didn't really like tell people like, yo, I'm better, because I didn't have results. So like, I was just like, you know, I'm gonna go to a tournament. I'm gonna like outplace him. I'm gonna get the best results and whatever. So like, that was like a huge motivation for me, honestly. I wanted to have like the best results with Flash and be known for like the Flash and whatever. And that was a big motivator for me. So shout out to Zyfox.
I really respect that, man. Not jabbering online, but instead just letting the results speak for themselves. I definitely got to respect that mindset. That's awesome. So one thing I want to ask you, bringing up your brother a lot, and we just had Mustard on the show a few weeks back, and he was talking a lot about how amazing it is to have his brother right next to him to do like all the content and all the traveling together. And you're in a similar situation. You were bringing it up a little bit before. Your brother Biohazard, 2 years older than you, I believe. And just kind of talk about how has that been? Do you think that has helped tremendously to have your quote unquote best friend right next to you throughout all of this?
For sure. Like, I strongly believe that neither one of us would have been anywhere near as involved in the FGC if it wasn't for the other person. Because it's like, he, for one thing, introduced me to the game. Mm-hmm. I kind of pushed for us to take it a little bit more competitively, and like, I pushed for us to like kind of travel a little bit more for tournaments, but he was like down for the ride the whole time. Yeah. And like, for me, like, I wouldn't have really wanted to do it on my own. Mm-hmm. You know, it's hard to just go into these things on your own. At least I knew, like, you know, no matter what, at least I got my brother with me. Like, Absolutely. We can take a 14-hour bus ride, but at least the two of us are together and whatever. And we always were able to like cut costs for like hotel and stuff like that, right? And then we had a training partner like right next to us. And back then, offline was very like pretty different from online. So having someone offline to play with,
it was a different world.
That was a big deal. And we were both leveling up like together. The only thing that kind of sucked was like, we didn't really play very many characters. Like, I was basically only using the Flash, and he was basically only using Bane at the time. So in terms of like matchup knowledge, we didn't really have a lot of that, but I got better from like going to my locals and stuff like that as well. And then I did play online a lot, which obviously does help as well. So I think like having him there, it definitely helped a lot. And I don't think either one of us would be like doing this without the other if we weren't there like to start with, to be honest.
Would you agree with the following statement? it is an unfair advantage to have
Yeah, I
a
know.
brother in the Mortal Kombat community. Would you say that having a brother gives you an unfair competitive advantage?
Nah.
Oh my
I wouldn't
goodness.
say an
Because-
Because,
unfair,
because if you look
competitive
across the
advantage.
board,
Every single one, man.
Every single one?
almost every single set of twins or brothers have been tearing up our competitive community
Yeah?
across the globe. We did a global series on here. Twins, I think Twins won the EU series. They won the Latin American series, and this is gonna come out before CEO, which I know Honeybee's going to. There are some twins from Chile that might win CEO. That's all I'm saying. It's gonna be insane. Woo! But
Be on the lookout.
Interesting.
but it is crazy how almost every set of twins has had amazing success, not just competitively, but just in kind of everything that they've done in this space. It's insane.
Moving into now, let's move down the timeline of Honeybee because we spoke a little bit about before. You were never a Mortal Kombat guy. It was Injustice first. Before that, no fighting games, and now MKX comes out.
Right.
What was that like? What
devastated.
was that conversation like?
I was so sad.
Oh
Man.
no!
I was when MKX, dude. When MKX was announced, I was so sad. I was just like, dude, like I've been grinding the hell out of Injustice. I love Injustice. I want to compete in Injustice. I want to be the best in this game. But then MKX gets announced. Everyone's like, yo, fuck Injustice.
That's exactly
whatever.
what it was.
Can't wait to see this game die.
It's
I want to
gonna-
go back to MK.
They're
God,
setting their
whatever.
discs on fire on.
Yeah, I was like,
Oh
dude,
my God.
I was so upset. I was so upset because I was just like, dude, like I love this game. I'm grinding this game, and like I don't want to sound cocky or whatever, but like towards the end of the lifespan of Injustice, I was super confident that I could beat basically anyone. Like the only people that I was actually worried about was Sonic Fox and Jupiter at the time. But like outside of them, I was super confident that I was beating like anyone else that was still competing, and I just was like, man, like I wanted to just keep competing in this game. But so that was kind of like yeah, that was kind of sad for me, to be honest. But at the same time, I was like, well, you know, like I'll try in Mortal Kombat, but I didn't feel that confident that I'd be that good at it because I'm like, I've never played Mortal Kombat before. Like, I don't know how having a run button is going to be. And then I found out they have like a stamina button bar. And
Yeah,
everything.
it was
I'm
so
like,
different mechanically from Injustice and
Yeah,
even
so
the
I was-
previous Mortal Kombat. So
And even just the
like,
way
everyone
pokes
was going
were
in
different
kind of fresh.
from Injustice and stuff like that. So stuff like that, I was kind of like, oh man, like this is gonna be tough. But at the same time, I'm like, well, everyone was
learning
to
it, yeah.
So there's no reason for me to keep playing Injustice at this point. I might as well hop on the train and just hope to be good. So that's kind of what I did, right?
And then how do you gravitate towards the worst character in NRS history, being Devora? How did you gravitate? Oh no! I think he might just leave the call. Like this episode's a wrap.
What
We have been
is
given
this?
We're just flaming his character.
Let me say,
Talking shit about Flash.
the
Yeah,
Flash is
one
the
guy
sickest Injustice character, but Devora,
talking
bro,
shit
I'm
about
sorry.
Oh my
I'm sorry, man.
I want
I
to leave
can't.
this call right
I can't
now.
do it with that
Dude,
character.
I don't want to be subjected
All right,
to this.
Honeybee.
Blasphemy.
How about this? Were you attracted to? Okay, wait, never mind. I'm not gonna phrase it that way either. Did
Yeah,
you find that it was easy to pick up Devore because she did have, in some resemblance, a game plan similar towards Flash's, where she absolutely would just be an offensive force up close of cancels and having actual plus frames?
Like, I think I did enjoy that for sure. I definitely did enjoy that about Devora. The funny thing is, one of the
Or was it like a trailer where you're like, oh, she looked cool as hell? Like, was it that?
when Devora was first announced, I definitely did think, you know, maybe I'll use Devora, because for me it was like MKX is a new first Mortal Kombat game that I'm ever gonna play. Devora is new to the franchise, so that's cool. There was no ties for me. Like I had zero interest.
No,
in
like
playing,
bug tie
Kung Lao
of like, my name's
or-
Honeybee and she's a bug?
I considered it.
Okay,
Considered
okay,
it.
okay.
I considered it, but I didn't want to just pick her for that only reason. So like I didn't have ties to like other characters. The first character I was actually definitely interested in was Nimble Reptile,
Of
because
course.
Nimble
Wow.
Reptile could slow down time the same way Flash could. So when the game came out, I was just like, okay, I'm gonna try Reptile. But then I immediately found out that his slowdown was not even close to being as good as Flash's is in Injustice. And like, so I was trying to use it. I was just like, man, this kind of sucks. Like, I don't really like it that much. And then also at the time, this is like kind of fun fact, I guess. This game was on PS4, where before we were all used to playing on like with PS2 pads, usually using converters and stuff like that. And I was using the PS4 pad, and I absolutely hated the back forward input on the PS4 pad. I was
still
fucking it up
to this day
all the time. Sometimes I still mess it up, but I don't hate it that much anymore. But at the time, I absolutely hated it, and I was just like, man, like I hate that it's all back forward. Like I would get jumps all the time, and then I was like, okay, I'm not feeling Reptile. I'm like, let me check Devora out. Devora, 0 back forward inputs.
Quarter circles only.
Like,
the quarter circle
like,
life.
okay, maybe it's meant to be. She only had down back or down forward inputs, and then I was just like playing with her, and then I'm like, okay, I like her range, I like her pressure, you know, she's cool, and then like she feels strong to me. And the other thing that was kind of cool is like no one else was really using her. It was really at the time, it was really just like me, Blind Ducky, and like Pim Pim Jim. Like, I didn't really see any other people really going into Devora like that. So I was like, okay, like if I'm doing good with her, whatever, maybe I'll be the best with her again and whatever, and that'll be fun. And I just felt like she was strong. So like I was enjoying her, and I ended up winning Toryukin, which was a pretty big tournament in Toronto that actually Pim Pim Jim and other people from GGA and the States, Rio, blah blah blah, they all came over, and somehow I ended up winning, even though I definitely didn't feel like I was gonna win it. And then I just kept going with Devora from there, and ended up getting top 3 at Evo with her and whatever. And then that was my first Evo medal, and I was like, oh shit, and just kept going with Devora from there. And I was sold on her, on the character, pretty much.
Has your training regimen changed from, or in what ways has your training regimen changed from, you know, way back playing Flash to now MK11 playing Devora? How do you train differently, or is it still just practice and more practice?
Yeah, like a lot of it is just like I don't spend that much time in training mode and stuff anymore. Like a lot of like me practicing and stuff just comes from just playing people. Like cuz now for me like even just my life in general is quite different from what it was back then. Back then like when I'm playing, a lot of the times I'm just playing, and I can spend hours in training mode and it's fine. But like now, like whenever I'm playing, I'm basically streaming. Like, I almost never play without streaming. So I don't really want to spend 3 hours in the lab streaming that. I don't feel like it's the most entertaining thing to watch. So then like usually if I'm in the lab or something, like I'll just spend a little bit of time there, figure out what I need to figure out, and then pop into matches and stuff like that. Yeah. So like in that sense it's kind of different.
That's actually the perfect thing to segue into our next kind of topic here, which is going to be, content creation, your YouTube channel. In that nowadays you're saying that you have this, it's all built into your content creation, where that's where you get your practice. And believe it or not, interesting thing to note is I see the same thing happening even just now, Honeybee and Flashyy here, with the music industry. Good buddy of mine that I met through Mortal Kombat, Matt from Trivium, his band, everything that they do now is all live streamed. All of their practices are live streamed. And that's how he stays warm for concerts. That's how he stays warm for shows, is that he has built it into his content creation so that it almost doesn't feel like work for him anymore. And everything's built together, and it's kind of a similar way that you've approached it here, Honeybee. And it's kind of the smart thing to do. You were one of the first people to really jump on the YouTube in our community. One of the first few anyway, to where even to this day when people ask me, they're like, hey, I need to get into content creation. What do I do? And I usually go, I don't have a clue. Go look at what Honeybee's doing or some shit. And that's exactly what I've been telling people for what I feel like has been like 7 years now. How did you get from competitor to I can try to do this to try to potentially make money off of it, or was it just I want to get myself even more out there? How did you get into YouTube and content creation from a competitor?
Okay, well, I feel like YouTube in general for me. So I started uploading stuff back in like 2013 when Injustice came out, and I think the first video you'll see on my YouTube channel is a video that I use with like my phone, literally like held up like this,
Oh
whatever.
yeah.
I'm watching it
Recording.
right now. Yeah, the beginning is you lifting your phone up from the
Yeah,
couch to the
yeah,
TV. It's not even
yeah.
starting on the TV.
It,
You're literally
it was
It's
lifting
not
it
even
up.
starting here.
it was a clan war match that we were having, and it was my brother
Ooh.
Bio playing against, I think it was Chaotic, who was using Frost.
Ooh.
And so it was like, yeah, Bio's Bane
Oh,
against
that had to
Chaos
be a
Frost.
good match.
And then at the time it was like, well, I just wanted to record it because we had people in our clan, and I thought, maybe they'd want to watch and whatever, and maybe they think it was good. And like at the time, like even though it's a phone recording, like people didn't care as much because we didn't have all the fancy shit that we do now. So then I was just like, okay, like I'll just record this and whatever. And then some people started watching it. I got a couple subscribers. I was like, oh shit, we got some subs out here. So then I just I put out a couple more videos and stuff, but I wasn't doing like that much back then because I didn't want to just record a crap ton. But like I actually had like a stand that I made out of like Lego pieces so that I could hold this up in place. Obviously not the same phone, but I would hold it up in place and then press record and then just start playing and whatever. And then I would like put that on YouTube. And like some people ended like watched it and stuff like that. And I think when MKX came out, that was on the PlayStation 4, and I was like, oh, I can literally just record stuff straight from my PS4 and put that on my YouTube channel, or I can stream straight from my PS4 and that on my YouTube. So I was like, okay, like I might as well do it, like because at the time, like the channel was growing. I had maybe a couple thousand subs or something like that. So I just felt like I might as well, like if it's there, then I'll do it. And then it just really started to take off when Injustice 2, like MKX, it was growing. Injustice 2, it really took off when I had my greatest comeback ever video that I'm sure you've seen, Mr. Aquaman. I don't know about you, Flashy. But it had like...
I was there yelling in the crowd going, ow! The whole time.
Wait.
That's what...
Well, that video was like an online set I had with
I thought you were
Raptor.
talking about the one at Evo, because...
No, well, that's something else. But like it kind of really worked
That's what I'm
together.
saying.
What's that?
Nothing. I'm just saying you had a lot of great moments and a lot of great comebacks.
Yeah. So like I had the greatest comeback ever video, and then that just blew up. I know at the time when I uploaded it, I had like maybe 13K subs, and then in less than a week, it went from 13K to like 26K subs because it just blew up and it hit like 1 million views. I think right now it's at 1.8. Yeah, it's at 1.8 mil.
That's unbelievable, man.
So like that video like really helped me a lot, and like when it happened I was like big brain, we were thinking like, okay, well a lot of eyes are on my channel right now, like I better pump out some fucking content. So I was putting out matches with like all these other things, like the most obscure matches like Gorilla Grodd and stuff. It's like, yo, there's a Gorilla Grodd, let me put that shit on YouTube. So like I was putting all that stuff up, whatever, and then on top of that I got second at Evo. So then it was like, oh shit, like this guy got second at Evo, he has the greatest comeback ever video, like, so I was kind of like doing like good stuff there. The funny thing is at the time I was actually working like a 9-to-5 full-time job where I wasn't even going to I didn't go to Combo Breaker, I didn't go to CEO. Evo was like the first major I went to for Injustice 2, and I was this close to not even being able to go to it. So like lot of it just kind of like aligned for me. And then after I got the second at Evo, like I ended up getting picked up by Beast Coast, and then that's like a whole other thing. Like it gave me the opportunity and the chance to like actually pursue gaming and content creation. So huge shout outs to Beast Coast as well.
Awesome.
Stars aligned, man. All the stars aligned. So one thing that I did want to ask, interestingly enough, you are a Facebook gaming streamer.
I am.
Where and how did that go about happening? Because obviously, I mean, you got a great YouTube channel here, 87,000 subscribers. Streaming on YouTube is very prevalent these days. Of course, Twitch is the obvious choice. What made you decide to go over to Facebook gaming, and what's that been like for you?
I was approached by someone from Facebook gaming that thought like, hey, you'd be a good fit to stream over here and whatever. I'm obviously not going to get into too much detail, but I was offered something that I could not turn down. And
Of course.
I was just like, yeah, I'll make the move. And I've enjoyed it. Like it's fun streaming on Facebook. Obviously, like there are still some issues that they have that they're working through and whatever, because they are still newer. But I feel like they do treat their partners well, and there's like some pretty nice incentives that they have when it comes to even just like sub revenue. Like creators on Facebook Gaming get 100% of the
Oh, wow.
revenue, as opposed to like Twitch that does a 50-50 or a
Yep.
70-30 split, that's a pretty big deal, honestly.
That's
And then yeah, the
it
community's
adds up
been really
really
good.
quick. By the way, that difference adds up really
Yeah,
quick.
it does. It does. It does. So yeah, the community's been really good, been really supportive and everything. So yeah, I've been enjoying it.
Are you finding that you have to grow your Facebook stream outside of Facebook and bring people in, or is there kind of like a an ecosystem on Facebook where new people are able to find you relatively quickly?
I feel like as of late, it's been getting harder, especially ever since like NRS. I feel ever since they announced like they're not working
Bro,
on
that
it.
Yeah.
tweet. Oh my goodness,
I
man.
do think that did hurt the
Yeah.
community a fair amount, because before that happened, I felt like my viewership might have been like two or maybe three times like what it generally is now. But you know, I'm hopeful that, you know, NRS will continue, you know, working on stuff, and hopefully a new game will come out and it'll be good. And then in the meantime, like I do still, you know, really appreciate the people that do come through the streams and then
course.
support and do all that. So you know, it's still been really good, and I have very thankful.
So do you think that you're doing a lot of the work outside of Facebook and then driving people towards your stream from there then?
Yeah, sometimes. Like there is still some discoverability when it comes to Facebook. Like I do
Right.
still like I can actually, when I'm streaming, I can see like how many people of the viewers are followers and how many are not. And
Oh,
like
that's awesome.
there still are like a lot of people that come through the stream that aren't even following. So, you know, like it must still be getting pushed out somewhat, which is good. And, you know, just try to get people there as much as possible.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome to do, man. Switching platforms is not easy in any shape or form
Yeah.
this day and age, especially when it comes to a live stream. Because speaking from so much personal experience of being on a very small platform, back when I worked for a company called Streamy, you probably know
Oh,
this,
yeah.
Honeybee,
Oh, yeah.
which I worked for because they made me an offer I couldn't refuse at all, which is why I took that job, and I got to work with Mortal Kombat full time. It was incredible, and because of that, I'm still able to. But it is so hard to get people to not watch the most popular thing or watch on the most popular thing. It's like if it's not on Twitch, if it's not on YouTube, it's hard. It's hard. So nothing but respect for you to be able to do that. And that was a couple of years ago, right? If I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken,
I've been with
it was
Facebook Gaming
around.
for 2 years now.
Wasn't
Oh, wow.
wasn't it around the same time that Mixer had gone down? Like it was around that time, right?
That I joined Facebook
Yeah.
Gaming? No, I think
I couldn't remember
Mixer. I think Mixer went down like less than a year ago. I would say.
I don't even know
Yeah.
what time it is anymore. If I can be honest with you, Honeybee.
I think it
But-
was less than a year ago.
He's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I actually started streaming on Facebook Gaming in December of 2019.
Two-
so it's
two
been close
years.
to 2 years now. Yeah.
Oh, respect for grinding over there, and everyone watching. Go check him out on Facebook. There's one more aspect of your content creation that I want to talk about, because you were again one of the few people to really jump on this early, and that was Patreon.
Yeah.
Honeybee jumped on Patreon super early, and I haven't looked at it in a really long time, so this is off the top of my head. But if I'm not mistaken, your Patreon's built to play people, to teach people, and to have people compete. You have a monthly tournament, you have sessions to teach people, if I'm not mistaken, you and your brother, and then just playing sets, right? Something like that?
Yeah. That's pretty much what it is. I feel like as of late, there's not as much interest as there was previously with the way the game is and
Could
everything.
be with that certain announcement from NetherRealm that
Yeah. You know, so it's not as you know, as poppin' as it once was, but it's still going on, and I do once again appreciate everyone that does subscribe on the Patreon. And yeah, we've done like a bunch of tournaments with it. Like I think I've done 10 MK11 tournaments and like
Nice.
13 Injustice 2 tournaments, like hosted through it, and we had pretty good prize pools and everything. We have a great community that loves to like support and increase the prize pot and all this stuff. And like Beast Coast will come through and give like headsets and T-shirts and
That's awesome, man.
nice prizes and stuff. And then we also make like custom made medals with people's names engraved
Yeah.
and ship them out. And that was like pretty cool. That I thought, anyways. I was like, if I'm competing in something like this and I got a medal with my name engraved,
That's sick.
I thought it was pretty cool. So, I was just like, yeah, let's do that too. So, we're trying to do things that like would, encourage people to like play and give them something to work towards, like, something fun.
It seems like the word that comes to mind is early adopter with a lot of things when I'm looking at kind of your career here. With going over to Facebook, with the YouTube thing, you're vlogging at events, which are absolutely awesome. I remember when
I think you were the first person to vlog,
Dude.
ever. I was telling Flash, like, back in Injustice 1, he'd show up, he would, if you ever saw Honeybee, he'd be like, what's up, guys?
What's up?
How you doing?
The life of the vlog,
That's exactly.
man.
What up, man? How you doing, dude? How you doing, Samich?
I would see Flash, I would see Honeybee across the thing, he'd be like, hey, what's going on? Hey, what's going on?
The life of a vlogger,
Yeah,
man. So
yeah.
do you think that you just have a way of looking at things and being like, I think this could work and I'm just going to go for it? Or like, what is kind of your mentality behind nobody's doing this, I'm going to go do it?
I feel like, I don't know, like there's sometimes, yes, like there is that. And I feel like if it's something that I could do to, make some money, grow myself, my brand, whatever, like generally I try to do it. I try to go for it. Like when it came to the vlogs and stuff, it was like something I was just like, yeah, like I guess people aren't really doing it much, and it could be fun, so I decided to do it. And then I would get like positive feedback on it, and people would say like, do more vlogs, and I was like, okay, like I'll do more vlogs. So then I just kept doing it. I actually kind of stopped-ish when MK11 came out, because for one thing I was having some issues with like editing things that I needed to do, and then on top of that, like my bro and I were having a rough time when it came to tournaments, and it made the experience like not as good for us,
Like,
because
results wise,
like we weren't hitting those top 8s and whatever like we wanted, so it made it not as fun for us as it would have been. So then I kind of stopped with the vlogs, but like I do want to vlog CEO coming up.
Awesome. Definitely excited to see that, man. Yeah, I remember back in MK11, you did one. I can't remember which one it is, but you guys were like walking around the streets. You were going getting food. You were in the event. You were talking to all these players, and I was like, dude, this is fucking genius, man. Everybody needs to be doing this shit.
I vlogged the reveal event too for the.
Maybe I think that might have been what it was.
Yeah,
I think that's
maybe.
what it was. But I just remember I was like, dude, this guy is fucking crushing it, man. Like such a genius, dude.
It's even more genius in this particular day and age, because so many people want to try to experience that, and not everyone can go. Especially to CEO that's so limited. I mean, by the time even I thought I could even think to go, it was sold out. Like by the time I even had the thought, it was sold out in like a day. So there's a lot of people that are going to be wanting to get that experience. It's been a couple of years since most of the FGC has not gone offline, and so a lot of people are dying to get that feeling.
It's been a while. Like literally, the last tournament I competed in offline was KIT 2020. January of 2020, and then I went to the final combat thing, but then they canceled the LCQ event, so I couldn't compete. So yeah, it's been almost 2 full years since I've been able to compete offline in like something. So like for me, like I'm just looking forward to just being able to compete again. Like I do want to get another vlog going for that. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to just seeing the people that I haven't seen for a long time that maybe I'm still talking to, like, we still play games together and stuff like that, but it's nice to like see them again,
Yeah, have those human interactions. Speaking from experience, I got to do a couple of offlines, one in here in Texas, one internationally, and the first one I did, it felt like it felt unreal in that it kind of got me back into what it was like even back then, because when you haven't done it for a year straight, when you haven't been in an offline setting with a bunch of people doing what you love like that, it injects such energy in you once more. And I hope it does that for our scene and our community and event like CEO, where we get some offline action back and breathe a little bit of life into the community, because like you said, it has been a little bit of a drought since that announcement from NetherRealm. Here at the Kolosseum, I can tell you firsthand, we announced a tournament series, a global series, and then the next day, or was the evening of, they tweeted that, and I was like, fuck my life.
No. Damn.
Because then no one signed up viewership
Hey, I
has
signed
has
up.
has been at all time. Honeybee, stay signed up. And Honeybee, thank you so much for that. But even competitively speaking, trying to organize stuff to bring everyone together, this has been a really big low. Even in that, you know, between Mortal Kombat X and Injustice 2, we knew something was coming. It was a 2-year cycle. But even like super late in MKX, when we dropped a tournament or when competitions were happening, hundreds of people were still competing, thousands of people were still watching, and this is a pretty dry time for a lot of the content creators in our community. And I guess this could segue perfectly into what is your plan moving forward? Are you just going to keep sticking to it right now? Do you have any plans to change anything in the next year or so, maybe, or just kind of looking forward, or do you feel like everything that you've built as a nice self-sustaining ecosystem that's just working?
Like I feel like right now, like things are, I would say, pretty good for me. Like I'm pretty grateful for how things are. Like I have my own place. I'm married, to my wife and everything. I have
congratulations, by the way. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Big boy stuff, man. We love to hear it.
So like
he's been flexing the ring the whole.
Yeah, he's just been sitting like this, but he's actually like this.
Yeah,
he's like,
he's been like. Yeah.
But yeah, things are good, and like I'm still doing like content, and like I'm still trying to be consistent. And when it comes to all that, consistent streaming, consistent uploads, for YouTube, I do like a lot of stuff with Beast Coast as well. They have their own channel, Beast Coast FGC, where they put up a bunch of stuff with us doing like different stuff.
A lot of different content.
Yeah, like so there's a lot of like different things happening there that I'm also excited to continue doing with them. And I'm just very much looking forward to the next NRS game.
Yeah. Hopefully
you're all right, man.
Yeah.
Hopefully it comes soon, man. Hopefully it comes soon. But I want to ask you one last thing before we get out of here, Honeybee, and it is, a lot of people know you from the title alone of Flash Godlord.
Yeah.
For everyone watching, it had to be one of the most, this might not be the right word, like synonymous thing in our community was you and Flash Godlord. Where did that come from? What is the origin story behind your nickname or your title, your earned title?
I earned that shit.
Or
some people were like, man, why'd he call himself Flash Godlord? I'm like, dude, I didn't call myself that. I earned the fucking title.
Tell us the origin story.
For one thing, I want to give a huge shout out to Katana Prime, because when I got second at Evo, that man called me the Flash Godlord so many times on the mic. Like everyone knew at that point. He was like the Flash Godlord. I'm like, let's go. Like, let's go. I was loving that shit, honestly. And like when I rewatched it back, the amount of times he called me that, amazing. But in terms of like the origin story, here's the origin story. Injustice 1. So it had nothing to do with Injustice 2, by the way. I was already the Flash Godlord in Injustice 1. Injustice 1, I was doing a clan war. I think it was I think it was the RM clan.
Shoutouts?
Versus, shoutouts to Ruthless Mayhem. I think we had a match against, I don't remember who it was. But we had a match, and
Outworld Lord, something else. Yo, Sid the Hayes was here. Let's go.
Yeah. Huge shout outs to Sid the Hayes.
That's my boy.
Because we ran into this clan war, and he had to play a Zod player. And he got bodied, apparently. And he was just like, and then I had to play him next, and we're in this like group chat and whatever. Back then we had a PlayStation group chat that we were all in for the clan wars and stuff on the PS3. And he was like, dude, like, there's no way you can beat this Zod. Like, it's impossible for Flash. I was just like, I think I got it. Like, I know the matchup, whatever. And he's just like, dude, if you win, you're the Flash Godlord. And I was just when he first said that, I was just like, okay, like that sounds stupid, but whatever, like sure. So he kind of said like, if you win, you're the Flash Godlord. And I was like, okay, whatever. So then I play my match. And then I beat him. I beat the Zod player or whatever. And then I come back into the group chat. I'm just like, Sid, bow before the Flash God. And I was just like that. And then Gamer Blake made this whole write-up on Test Your Might.
Oh, you know it.
He made this whole write-up on Test Your Might all about this event and blah, blah, blah. And, of course, in the write-up, he mentions Honeybee like came back into the whatever group and claimed his victory and was like, bow before the Flash God Lord,
dude,
or whatever.
Test Your Might tournament write-ups were the best thing of all time.
They were. I looked forward to those after every event, and I was like, dude, like I was looking for my props and everything. I'm like, dude, like I got 5th at this tournament. I better see that I'm listed there somewhere. Like I loved that shit. I lived for that shit. And like, so at the time he was just like, yeah, like Flash God Lord, whatever. So then I was just like, okay, like whatever, I'll roll with it. At the time I still felt like it sounded kind of dumb, but I'm like, whatever. So I changed my my profile like title thing, and it said like Flash God Lord under it and whatever. And then I just kind of rolled with it from there, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm the Flash God Lord. But then we didn't really talk about it that much when like MKX came out, because then Injustice was kind of done, and I'm not telling people I'm the Flash God Lord at that time. But then I guess when Injustice 2 came around, like it just people remembered.
Oh yeah.
Maybe I talked about it as well, and then they just started saying it again, and then the whole second at Evo and the biggest comeback ever thing, whatever happened, and then a lot of people like knew about it, and they're like, yo, the Flash God Lord. I'm like, yeah, that's me.
Yeah, that's it.
Man,
and then so like my Twitter bio has Flash God Lord. We gotta have it there somewhere. So yeah.
I didn't know that it was Sid the Haze. Sid the Haze
was Sid, yeah.
Sid was one of my main training partners of Injustice 1 daily offline, and he never told me that he was like one of these.
He didn't tell you that?
No, I'm pissed off right now. I'm gonna reach out to Sid, who was also a very good Flash player back then, and is still competing in the FGC. Incredible origin story right there, down to a clan battle, which was another really good reminiscent of the Injustice 1 era right there, of
good times
of what our community was doing differently than today, right? We weren't playing for money. There was a lot of pride, so there was a lot of team tournaments, a lot of regional tournaments, a lot of character.
Now these days, everyone's just streaming, and then like people in the chat will just be like, "Yo, do a money match, $20," and then you'll like do something like that maybe. But we don't really set up these like elaborate type of like things like that anymore. It was fun though.
Where there's only pride, right? Now there has to be a matcherino. There has to be some kind of money amount, or people are just like, what's the point?
Yeah. It's different now.
But to this day, I have the same motivations as even back then, man. If I'm not trying to be the best like KoloCon player on the in MK11, even to this day, I feel like I'm not giving it my all in these games, because that pride's something I hope I never lose. I hope you never lose as well with these games, because it is powerful. It is a powerful tool to have.
For me, like I have a lot of pride in the fact that like I'm known for the Flash in both Injustice 1 and 2. I'm known for Devora in both MKX and MK11. Like to me, like that's like an accomplishment of sorts, I love the fact that I'm like kind of synonymous with these characters, and like people, like most people that are in the competitive scene would know like about me, and a lot of people would probably say I'm the best representative of that character, and that that's a cool little accomplishment.
That's something cool to shoot for, and not a lot of people shoot for that nowadays. It's that. Let's go back a step to when you first got started, right? If someone's coming into competitive Mortal Kombat, they go, "Who's the cheapest fucking character?" Because that's how so many other competitive games are now, right? Look at Call of Duty players, look at League players, look at Dota players. They go, "Who's the cheapest, and what are the best people using, and how are they using it? How are they winning?" And that's what I'm going to try. It isn't necessarily, they do exist, but not as much as I feel like they used to when there wasn't as much on the line.
Yeah. Character loyalty isn't really a thing so much anymore.
We're a dying breed, man. That's what I'm trying to get. That's what I'm trying to get to. Character loyalty is a dying breed, and I feel like it's dying quick. But
if there's an MK12, I'm telling you guys, I'm using Devora, man. As long as she's in there, and please to God let Devora be.
I'm not. I don't think I can use Kotal. They killed him 14 times in the same
He's
story.
gotta be done eventually.
I don't know.
Devora was not even mentioned in Aftermath.
Oh, you're right.
They just didn't mention anything about her. I was just like, what the hell happened? Like, she didn't die. Why does she not exist here? So like, if they just somehow cancel her out of the lore, out of the story, I'll be so sad.
Yeah, I don't, and who knows what they're gonna do, because they pulled a Mortal Kombat on us, Honeybee. They're like, at the end of the story, none of that mattered, and we're gonna restart the whole thing anyway. And so we'll see what comes next, Honeybee. One of the best character loyalists and players,
Absolutely.
content creators to do it. It's been awesome having a conversation with you here today, man. All of the links to what you've got going on, we'll put that in the description down below. And if you want to, I'm going to give you some time here right before we get out of here to do some shout outs, man. It was a wonderful conversation. It was wonderful to get to know you a little bit more. The Flash God Lord himself, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, shout outs? Well, shout outs, Beast Coast. Without Beast Coast, a lot of this wouldn't really be possible for me. Huge shout outs to my wife, Mrs. B, she's awesome. She's been supporting me ever since I wanted to quit the 9-to-5 and pursue this. She was 100% behind me. She helps me. She makes all my thumbnails, by the way.
Oh,
on my
that's
YouTube
awesome.
channel.
Wait,
She
I was
makes
gonna
all my
ask you if
thumbnails.
you edit those. That's actually her that does that. That's amazing, man.
Yeah. So shout outs to her, shout outs to my bro Bio, shout outs to the Hive, shout outs to everyone that supports, I appreciate all you guys, and thanks for having me on.
Dude, absolutely awesome, Honeybee. It was so cool to talk to you. I think that we got to have you back on because your 7-year career.
I feel like there's more to talk about.
There's so much to talk about.
There's other things we could
yeah,
cover,
there's so much more to talk about. So we definitely got to have you back on. Super excited to have your brother on here too. You two are absolutely just awesome people in this space. Thank you so much for coming on here, dude. Literally, that 100K sub plaque is right around the corner for you from YouTube, man. I cannot wait for that.
I'm trying to get there, man.
I cannot wait for that. Everybody, make sure you go subscribe to Honeybee's channel. Literally 100K right around the corner. Absolutely crushing it. Can't wait to see what you do at CEO, I believe you said, is next month or something like that. So can't wait to see you pop off out there. It was absolutely awesome talking to you, man. We're going to be back next week with another episode of the KoloCast. We're going to catch you guys then.